Camarillo City Council and the CSD meeting for September 10th to order, please. And Clerk, would you like to call the roll?
Yes, Councilmember Martinez Bravo,
Here.
Councilmember Santangelo,
Here.
Vice Mayor Tennyson,
Here.
Mayor Kildee,
Here.
and let the record reflect that Councilmember Tremblay is absent.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now we're going to get down to our closed session items, or items A and B. I'm going to ask Counselor, would you like to announce the reason why we're going into closed session, please?
Yes, Mayor and Council, we have 2 items on closed session. The first item is the OPV Coalition versus Fox Canyon Groundwater Management litigation, and the second matter is pursuant to Government Code 54956.9D4, one potential matter, and if there's any reportable action, I will make that report.
All right, so with that, we are in recess until 5 o'clock. All right, I'm going to reconvene the city council meeting in the Sand District to order again and let the record reflect that all the council members are here with the exception of Councilmember Tremblay. And I'm going to ask Martita, would you lead us in the flag salute?
Sure, please stand. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we've got the approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda? I don't see any, so I'll approve that. And that's going to get us down to the general public comment for items that are not on the agenda. Madam Clerk, do we have any speakers today?
Yes, we do have some speakers, and what I'm going to be doing is calling people's names and letting you know who will be the person preceding that person. You will have 3 minutes. You're going to come up to the speaker podium, and you'll see the broadcast will have your picture, and it'll have your timer as also on the screen. So our first speaker will be Kendall Lawson, and after Kendall will be Bev Dransfeld.
You don't mind moving that microphone a little
Yeah, I'm a little vertically challenged, so.
bit. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, city staff, and members of the public. For the record, my name is Kendall Lucene, and I'm the Installation, Community Plans, and Liaison Officer with Naval Base Ventura County. I'm here to present what you may have already seen is a press release or a working statement that was put out by the Ventura County Department of Airports. And that is the Naval Base Ventura County is hosting a large fleet aircraft test and training exercise that's kicked off at Naval Base Ventura County, Point Mugu, September 5th, and is expected to last until September 19th, not the 21st. It's a multi-service aircraft, surface vessels, and unmanned systems will be participating, staging, and launching from Point Mugu. Aircraft participating in the event will operate largely during regular airfield hours, but extended airfield hours will be required to support some test events. Operations are expected to last approximately 2 weeks, or September 5th through September 19th. Residents in the Camarillo, Oxnard, and Port Hueneme areas surrounding Naval Base Ventura County, Point Mugu may experience some increased noise levels during peak times, and the peak times are from 0700 to 1900 hours. Again, our typical airfield is open 0700 to 2300 hours. Anything earlier than that, it may happen because of this special exercise. Naval Base Ventura County is a major shore warfighting platform providing sustained ready forces to deploy, fight, and win. Composed of 3 operating facilities, Point Mugu, Port Hueneme, and San Nicolas Island, and is home of the Pacific Seabees, West Coast E-2 Delta Hawkeyes, 3 warfare centers, and 110 tenant commands. Information is being shared onto our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Naval Base Ventura County. And with this, happy to answer any questions, but I know you can't divulge that. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah, I think we did. Just 1 second. 1 second here.
maybe you can let the civilians know what 1900 and 2300 are? You said 1900 hours and 2300 hours.
Yeah. Let's see if I could do the military time. I'm
7 p.m. and
7 p.m.
11
until,
p.m.
yeah, 11 o'clock. Unless I write it down, I'm unable to do it.
Okay.
Never good at math, but I studied planning, though. Thank you.
Thank you.
And after Bev Dransfeld will be Joseph Dobzinski.
Two months since 351 people were taken a little over 5 miles away where we stand right now at 645 Laguna Road, Camarillo, California. It's a day that will forever haunt me and this community. The day before, over 60 comments pleading for help. 1 video the day after. A month passed, another video. A month passed, another video. This is not an acceptable timeline when a response is asked, requested, and pushed to the point of demanded. I'm not even sure what to say anymore. The last time I was here, I could not look up from my notes because I knew if I did, I would just start crying. In my anger, my frustration, devastation, and sadness, I ask over and over, why isn't anyone doing anything? Why does no one care? Because that's what it feels like. I feel suffocated by inaction. I finally reflected and realized my flawed thinking. No, people are doing something. It's just not who it is expected of. It's the people in this room, the ones in the audience, the ones who have showed up and continue to show up and will continue to show up. We're the ones doing something when leadership has failed us. No more. No more of our hands are tied. There's nothing we can do. No, it's unacceptable to keep hearing that. There absolutely is. The audience has given you repeatedly options, given you grace. We've offered support, advice, and to be a sounding board. We are seeing our neighboring cities take action. Contact your federal representatives, Congresswoman Julia Brownlee, Congressman Salud Carbajal, and Senators Adam Schiff and Alex Padilla. They're the ones who have control. You don't think we're doing that already? We are here asking you what you are doing as a council, not in your individual capacities, but as council members. You hold power. Are you making those phone calls, setting up meetings to say, hey, what can we do together to resolve this issue? How can we as the council offer support? How can we as a council help quell our community's fears and concerns? Yes, you're feeling the brunt of it. I understand that, and it feels unfair, and I get that. And we are asking for brave, bold leaders who will speak up and ruffle feathers, because now is not the time to toe the line. The line no longer exists. We saw that this week with SCOTUS's decision and continue to see any form of a line permanently disappear. I have a new proposal to request that the council form an immigration response and resource committee that is able to flush out, focus, and have real dialogue with members of the community, and that is able to collaborate with local agencies to address this head-on. Oxnard Mayor MacArthur hosts biweekly roundtables with community leaders where subcommittees are formed to dive further into specific topics, and even Santa Paula Mayor Chavez has formed a committee to discuss and engage further on steps for their city to take.
Thank you.
Okay, and after Joseph will be Claudia Gonzalez.
My name is Joseph Dubzinski Jr., and I'm a resident of Camarillo. 2 months have passed since we came here with real concerns about ICE, and all we've gotten are videos. In fact, the video that was released just this week, 2 days before the deadline for this next meeting, was in English only and now contains information that is outdated. It says that there is a temporary restraining order in place to prevent people from being discriminated against. That is no longer the case as of Monday morning. So the information that's being put out there is actually doing more harm than good now, and it's because you have not been listening to us coming here every meeting to talk about the real dangers out there. In Simi Valley, one of the ICE agents drove into a house, chasing somebody on foot with their car. They have done unestimable damage to that person, the family that was living there, which wasn't even the person they were chasing. Is it going to take an ICE agent running over a white kid in a school in Camarillo for you guys to actually do something? I don't know what else we can bring to you here other than to keep coming and to keep telling you that it's failing. I also want to talk a little bit about Tremblay and his comments about being performative. Performative is condemning racist hate in this city and then doing nothing about it, or certainly not condemning the racist profiling that ICE is doing with its citizens in Camarillo and around Ventura County. Performative is bringing the family of Jaime Alanis Garcia here to honor them and then doing nothing for the community that he comes from. Performative is coming here every day to say your hands are tied when every other city in this county has been able to do something, whether that's money or forming committees or passing policies that protect this community. Finally, I cannot believe that when we came here with a proposal for real help for this community, that one, Councilmember Tremblay wanted a host of checks and balances when you guys shovel over 37% of the city budget to the Ventura County Sheriff's Office with zero oversight, and that we had to jump through all of these hoops to listen to a randomly produced proposal that would actually not help anybody. and I'm looking at you, Mary Kildee, nobody who is undocumented is going to put themselves on a list to get help in this city where that list can be taken at some point and identify them as undocumented. It's just asinine that it went from trying to help one community that is impacted right now to trying to do something for everybody. It's the same as when we said Black Lives Matter and everybody said, no, 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 all lives matter. And so I am begging you all to take action before something awful happens, before someone drives into a house in Camarillo when they're chasing somebody, before a kid gets run over at a school district because they don't care about any of that. They'll just throw a form at people afterwards. And I'm asking you to be performative and just condemn what's happening by ICE and not just sit there and stare at me blankly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hola, me llamo Claudia. Esta es la cuarta vez que estoy aquí y probablemente no será la última, porque si algo he aprendido es que toma mucho tiempo lograr un cambio real en esta ciudad. Mi mamá vino en este país embarazada, cruzando la frontera en la parte trasera de una camioneta. Mis padres dejaron todo para que nosotros tuviéramos un futuro mejor. Vinieron persiguiendo el sueño americano. La primera vez que hablé aquí no fue para hablar del sueño, sino la pesadilla que muchos viven aquí mismo en Camarillo. La orden de rescisión fue levantada, así que voy a hablar en español, porque es mi derecho. Nadie me va a quitar ese derecho. Sé que intentarán silenciarme, pero hasta que eso pase, voy a usar mi voz por quienes no pueden. Trabajo 40 horas la semana y tengo un segundo empleo, a partir de las horas que pongo de voluntaria. No me canso de trabajar. Lo que cansa es venir aquí, repetir lo mismo y ver que nada cambia. Pedimos migajas y aún se nos niegan. Subieron un video con supuestos aliados, pero Freihoff ni siquiera dio la cara en ese video. Además, ese video ni siquiera tiene versión en español, para la comunidad que más lo necesita. Los enlaces en su sitio de web no llevan a nada útil y aún así dicen que nos escuchan. Y mientras tanto, vemos constantemente vehículos de emergencia entrando a Cortez. ¿Qué está pasando ahí dentro? ¿Qué tipo de atención está brindando? Nos preocupa seriamente la calidad de este centro. Si Camarillo realmente quiere cambiar las cosas, tal vez sea hora de considerar tener nuestra propia fuerza policial que entiende las necesidades de nuestra comunidad. No pedimos reforma migratoria, pedimos acciones locales, como financiar el Ventura County Neighbor Support Fund. El VCCF les dijo que tienen control sobre cómo distribuyó el dinero, cómo se distribuye el dinero donado. Sin embargo, ahora ni siquiera está en la agenda. Mientras tanto, Oxnard y Santa Paula están liderando el camino. Se han unido a demandas para defender a nuestras comunidades. Y Camarillo no ha hecho nada. Camarillo dice ser una ciudad segura, pero su falta de acción dice lo contrario. Amenazas en autos, agentes federales manejando como se les dé la gana, insultos racistas, familias atacadas sin razón en su casa, sin molestar a nadie. Y aún así no hacen nada. Ya no se trata de promesas vacías, se trata de actuar. Gracias.
Thank you.
Okay, we have another speaker that signed up, Becky Palazzola.
My name is Becky Palazzola. I'm a 30-year resident of Camarillo. Has it been passed, your suggestion for the $50,000 donation for legal fees? Has that been brought up or discussed or passed at all? Or is it still on the table for discussion?
It has not been.
We have no-
It has not been
Approved?
pa- It
Okay.
has not been approved.
With the recent report card that we got in our schools, rather than giving $50,000 for legal fees for non-resident, I would love to see that go to after-school reading and writing skills. It could be done through the Boys and Girls Club, adult education classes, what have you. Also, Not everybody needs a college education. We have a lot of talented people. We need trade schools. We need plumbers, engineers, mechanics, construction workers. When we had our own business, the Thousand Oaks Auto Center was our customer. And at that time, starting pay for a transmission mechanic was $100,000 a year. You can take quite good care of a family on that amount. And it just builds stronger communities when we have locals that are tradespeople. I truly believe that the Hispanic population in Mexico, their greatest national product is the work ethic of the people. They work like nobody else. They show up every day for work and they work hard. And we need to assimilate them, yes, into our community, but we also have got to educate them so that they can become productive, self-sufficient community. Thank you.
I don't have any more speakers.
We don't have any more speakers. Okay. So we're going to get down to council, staff, and intergovernmental reports. Council comments. Who'd like to start tonight? Susan, you want to start us off, please?
Sure, I'll be quick. On August 28th, I attended the Economic Development and Land Use Committee. On September 3rd, I attended the Policy Committee. And on September 4th, I attended the CPA Board meeting. And that's all I have tonight.
Anyone else like to go? Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. On September 3rd, I attended the Information Technology and Facilities Committee meeting. Also, immediately after that, the Policy Committee meeting. On September 7th, I had the opportunity to fill in for Mayor Kildee at an Eagle Court of Honor presentation where I was able to present the young Eagle Scout a city proclamation on behalf of the council and the entire city. His name is Luke Aiden Fuller. And I find it amazing. This is my 5th or 6th Eagle Court of Honor. The resilience, the dedication, and the hard work of these young people to attain the rank of Eagle Scout. It takes 21 merit badges to become an Eagle Scout. 4 to 7% of all scouts annually attain the rank of Eagle Scout. So it's pretty prestigious amongst the scouting community. Aiden didn't just get 21 merit badges, he earned 36 merit badges. And as part of becoming an Eagle Scout, they have to do a community project to support a church, a school, or a community activity or event. So Aiden led a group of volunteers. He planned it, organized it, and executed a donation drive supporting the Ventura County Animal Shelter. The drive was successful in providing the shelter with much-needed supplies, including food, blankets, and many other necessary supplies for the animal shelter. Aiden was impressive, and with young people like that in our community, there's always hope. He showed responsibility over comfort, and he showed service over self. And it's a great example for every one of us to follow that, service above self. I wanted to bring up the lack of civility and discourse in our country right now that has led to many incidents of violence. Today again, a young man was brutally assassinated on a college campus in Utah, and he was assassinated because he had views contrary, at least what I'm reading, to the shooter's views. I think many of our other city councils, county boards of supervisors, our state legislatures, our federal legislature can take an example from this city council. We have a broad base of ideological perspectives, but we treat each other civilly, we treat each other with courtesy, and we work together to make the best decisions we can for our community. And I sure would love to see an end to gun violence and end to needless murders, our children being attacked in schools and churches, and someone that's getting up in front of a college campus, invited by a student group on the campus, brutally assassinated, leaving behind a 3-year-old child and a 1-year-old child and his wife. And it's just time for everybody in this country to take a deep, deep breath and say we're all entitled to our opinion. We need to learn to share them civilly, and we need to listen to other people's opinions to at least try and understand that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Martita?
Thank you. On August 28th, I attended the Economic Development Collaborative and Land Use Committee meeting with Councilmember Santangelo. On August 31st, I attended the Labor Day picnic with the Central Coast Labor Council. That included LIUNA, UFW, and many other unions. And I'm extremely, extremely grateful for the event that they put on, providing meals for over 3,000 people, focusing primarily on farm workers who, as I've said here repeatedly, there are over 42,000 farm workers in Ventura County contributing to the over $2 billion agricultural industry. And given the recent immigration rates that have happened, there has been a true crisis that I've spoken to about here and also in my capacity as Executive Director of Friends of Fieldworkers. September 3rd, I met with several residents who reside over by Camarillo High School as they report ongoing and increasing concerns with safety and traffic. I was joined by Oxnard Unified High School District Trustee Dr. Estrada, and I have been in touch with city staff, and I'm also going to do another follow-up with our Chief of Police, who has been attending to this issue consistently. And then September 6th, I unfortunately had to miss the AYSO 50th anniversary. Sadly, I had to attend my baby nephew's funeral services as he passed away. But I nevertheless wanted to thank AYSO for their commitment to our community, for the service that they provide to Camarillo and to children and families. My children were a part of AYSO, and I remember being a volunteer along with my husband when we volunteered him to be an assistant coach as well. So congratulations to AYSO on that anniversary. And at this point, I actually wanted to ask the council that we honor and adjourn two wonderful people. If we can get that slide on there. It's Elvia Maria Finkel and Commander Andrew J. Finkel. They were two people who lived here in the city of Camarillo, and I know that their family is here to honor these two individuals as well. And just to tell you a little bit about each one, Commander Andrew J. Finkel was a proud U.S. Navy veteran and beloved member of the Camarillo community. He passed away after a life filled with service, love, and family. Born in Connecticut, Andy served 32 and a half years in the United States Navy, retiring honorably before working at Semtech, where he met his future wife, Elvia. The couple married in 1990 and built a beautiful life together, deeply rooted in family, friendship, and community. Andy embraced Elvia's Mexican heritage and loved hosting gatherings, with Thanksgiving becoming an annual tradition. Known for his warmth, humor, and generosity, he was famous for his Macker Andy, homemade pasta dinners, his green thumb, his love of gardening and koi ponds, and his constant coffee mug in hand. A passionate animal lover, he rescued a dog, Sam, who became his faithful companion. And he enjoyed hobbies ranging from sci-fi novels to photography, puzzles, and classic muscle cars. Andy is preceded in death by his parents, Dr. Orman Finkel and Ina Finkel, and is now reunited with his beloved wife, Elvia Finkel, who passed away recently in 2025.
He is lovingly remembered by his extended family, friends, and neighbors, and all who had the joy of knowing him. Andy will be remembered for his devotion to his family, his generous spirit, and the countless lives that he touched. And now I will speak about Elvia. Elvia Maria Finkel, of 66 years old in Camarillo, passed away peacefully on Sunday, February 23rd, 2025, surrounded by her loving family. Born in Rancho de los Gonzales, Jalisco, Mexico, Elvia was raised with deep-rooted values of faith, empathy, and hard work that shaped her life and the love she shared with others. She is survived by siblings Brigidia Espinosa, Rafael Navarro, Maria Garcia, and Jose Luis Navarro, as well as many nieces, nephews, aunts, and uncles. She was preceded in death by her parents, Jose and Piedad Navarro, and her beloved husband of 31 years, Commander Andrew J. Finkel. Elvia dedicated 44 years to Semtec, where she forged lifelong friendships and was celebrated for her work ethic and dedication. Outside of work, she led a full and vibrant life alongside Andy, enjoying round dancing, bowling, golfing, travel, and family gatherings. Her home was a warm, filled with laughter, hospitality, and delicious baked goods. Affectionately known as Tia Elvia, she cherished time with her family, hosting holiday celebrations, spontaneous cafecitos, and sharing her famous cookies, flan, and ceviche. A kind and generous spirit, Elvia touched countless lives through her friendships, community involvement, and unwavering love for her family. Her absence leaves an irreplaceable void, but her memory will forever live in the hearts of those who knew and loved her. I personally was honored to have known Elvia for a short period of time. She also lived in the Village at the Park community, and I would sometimes see her walking around that neighborhood. She was everything that was described here. In addition, I also had the honor of attending her services, and I could truly tell by the love that was brought forth and by the joy that was shared as you all described who she was, about the type of person that she truly represented, a person of truly love and joy and happiness, and that showed so much empathy to our entire community and to our family. So with that, we would like to later adjourn in honor of both Elvia Maria Finkel and Commander Andrew Finkel. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, meetings attended Saturday, August 30th. I attended the annual Don and Danya barbecue event. Yeah, that was a good event to be with, a long-time Camarillo event. Wednesday, September 3rd, the Information Technology Facility meeting along with Vice Mayor Tennyson. Thursday, September 4th, I attended a VRSD meeting and a CSUCI presidential transition. They have a new interim president there, and a very impressive young lady. And she's got her work ahead of her, but I have a lot of confidence in her abilities. And for those that were not able to go, Marticha, that you had mentioned the AYSO 50th, I was actually there, but I was a little bit late. So what we've decided to do is call some representatives to a future council meeting, and I will be presenting them with the certificate, a 50-year certificate, so all of us can be part of this. It was a reason why I was late. See, I just kind of added all of us to be part of this now. But yeah, it's a great organization. There's countless, probably thousands of kids and through the years in Camarillo that have gone through that program, and they do a lot of good. So I'm looking forward to that. So they'll be here. We don't have a date, but they will be here. And just a quick comment, there's a lot of issues in our city along with our nation, and this council and this city will continue to work on them to the best of our ability. Okay, so with that, we're going to go down to item C. It's a coastal cleanup day. Is Jessica, glad is Jessica here for a coastal cleanup? There's Jessica.
All right. Good evening, Mayor Kildee and City Council members. I am Jessica Olette, the Camarillo Stormwater Program Manager, and I will be sharing information about this year's Coastal Cleanup Day. The annual event will be held on Saturday, September 20th, 2025 from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. California Coastal Cleanup Day is known as one of the largest volunteer events held on one single day in the world. In fact, in 1993, California Coastal Cleanup Day was recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as the largest garbage collection ever organized, with 50,405 volunteers. Since then, the reach of Coastal Cleanup Day has steadily spread inland to cities like Camarillo. Most of the marine debris that we find on our beaches actually starts as urban trash or street litter. This continued effort to stop trash where it starts is an important effort in keeping our beaches and oceans clean. Last year, in Camarillo's 2 locations, we had a total of 187 volunteers remove 800 pounds of trash and recyclables. Food wrappers and plastic waste were the largest quantities of trash removed. We are grateful for the participants who volunteered their time to help keep Camarillo beautiful. Last year in Ventura County, 1,162 volunteers removed 13,028 pounds of trash and recyclables from 17 inland and coastal sites. The Ocean Conservancy has not released the 2024 results of the International Coastal Cleanup Day event, so these are the results from the 2023 event. Statewide in 2023, over 41,000 volunteers removed over 338,000 pounds of trash and recyclables. As can be seen in this table, the top item collected in California was again the cigarette butt, with over 107,000 collected statewide at last year's event. In the United States, over 134,000 volunteers worked together to collect and remove over 2 million pounds of trash and recyclables. Globally, over 486,000 volunteers removed almost 8 million pounds of trash and recyclables. Camarillo will again be hosting 2 locations for this year's event. One cleanup site is in the Mission Oaks Barranca, which is located in Mission Oaks Park at Mission Oaks Boulevard and Oak Canyon Road. Volunteers, please meet in the grass area next to the tennis courts. The second location is in Calleguas Creek. Volunteers, please meet in the creek bed at the intersection of Creekside Road at Paseo del Campo. Since we are trying to make this a zero-waste event, we encourage volunteers to bring their own bags, reusable water bottles, and gloves, but we will also supply those items, along with a data collection card to record statistics on what they are removing from the waterway. This information is put into the International Ocean Conservancy's database. It may be a warm day, so we encourage volunteers to apply protective sunscreen and wear appropriate attire, so please no flip-flops. The terrain in Calleguas Creek is not suitable for strollers or small children. Volunteers with small children are encouraged to go to the Mission Oaks Barranca site. As a token of our appreciation, we will have a limited number of hats and stickers to give away to the volunteers who come and help clean up our water bodies. Part of the annual event is to collect data on the trash collected, which is then compiled into a worldwide database by the Ocean Conservancy. Although we will provide data cards at event locations, we encourage volunteers to download and use the Clean Swell data collection app to record their finds and be counted towards the volunteer and trash totals for Camarillo. This year's event will be held on Saturday, September 20th, 2025 from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Thank you for supporting this important initiative in Camarillo. This concludes my presentation, and I am available to answer any questions. Thank you.
Any questions or comments from council? I'll make a comment. I try to go there every year. If you get a chance to do this, it's really important. It is amazing how much trash that all of us, produce. And any little tiny bit of effort that any of us could do that could limit that is a really good thing. When you're down there and you're collecting the trash, it never ceases to amaze me of what we find down there. And all of us, including myself, can do better. So if you have time to do that, you don't have to stay the whole day, although I don't want everybody leaving early. But if you have time to do it, you get your steps in, and it's just a really good thing to do for the environment as well. So I want to thank you so much for that presentation, and I'm sure we'll have another successful day.
Thank you, Mayor Kildee.
Thank you. All right, that gets us down to consent items D through H. Madam Clerk, any comments or anybody here with?
I don't have anybody signed up.
Okay. So, council questions, and if not, I'll entertain a motion.
Move the approval.
Consent.
Do you get that?
I can second.
You got it? Did you get it?
Nope.
I'm sure that passes
Yeah, it did.
4 with 1 absent.
Okay, that gets us down to the public hearing. Item 1, general plan safety element update. And Mr. Sanchez, do you want to start us off with that, please?
Thank you, Mayor Kildee and council members. The next item before you is the update to the safety element of the general plan. The city's consultant, Lexi Journey of Rincon Consultants, will be giving the presentation. We also have Jackie Lee, the project manager for the project, here to respond to any questions on behalf of staff. With that, Lexi will begin the presentation.
Thank you, and thank you, council members, for having me today. My name is Lexi Journey with Rincon Consultants, and I'm here to present the safety element that Rincon, myself, and my team have been helping Jackie and the rest of the city coordinate on for a couple years now, so we're excited to be here today. So we just have a really quick presentation to go over the requirements of the safety element, what that process looked like, and give a high-level overview of the changes that occurred in the safety element update. And then have time for any questions and answers. So due to recent state legislation, the safety element has a lot of new requirements, which is the reason why the safety element went through an update. So this slide here just shows a handful of government codes and recent Senate and Assembly bills that require different parts of the safety element to be updated. The first one is the standard, what type of hazards the safety element has to address, from geological and seismic hazard, flooding, fire, hazardous materials and waste, aircraft hazards, and emergency response. And then other government code says the safety element has to discuss the fire hazard severity zones, present those maps, locate critical infrastructure within those fire hazard severity zones, and discuss the resources for emergency response and fire protection. And then some of the newer ones, like Senate Bill 1241, require making sure the safety elements have the most up-to-date wildfire mapping information and updated goals and policies to address wildfire hazards, and that the big one is that the safety element now has to be reviewed by CAL FIRE and approved by the Board of Forestry and Fire Protection. And the safety element also has to align with the multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan. A vulnerability assessment has to be conducted. The safety element has to be updated at least every 8 years now. And the last two here that have to do with evacuation, you have to identify neighborhoods with less than 2 routes in and out and conduct an evacuation capacity analysis. So this safety element updated addressed all of those different requirements. And so this is an overview of what that process looked like. It started with conducting technical studies. So a community vulnerability assessment was conducted to see different aspects of the community, what's vulnerable under different climate change projections. And then a wildfire hazard analysis was conducted, as well as an evacuation analysis. And within this year, the state updated the fire hazard severity zone maps, specifically the local responsibility areas. So that was also integrated in the safety element update. A community survey was also part of this update to understand what are the community members' biggest concerns. Wildfire came up as the number one, and then learning about how prepared city residents are, with about 41% saying that they felt fairly confident in terms of that they had kits. And then it also went through city staff review, police review, fire review as well. And then it went through CAL FIRE review, which was several rounds of review there, and it went through Board of Forestry approval. So this was all completed before it went to Planning Commission, and now in front of you here today. So again, these are the different topics that are covered in the safety element. The ones with the stars indicate the topics where there was more considerable updates, which include the policy around climate change, so adding more policies to address extreme heat, which is also a new legislation that recently came out, but the safety element already addresses, as well as there were updates in the geologic and seismic hazard area, flooding hazards, fire hazards, and emergency response topics. And these are just a handful of the types of policies and actions that are updated and new in the safety element under those major topics. So for under urban heat and drought, the city is now committing to regularly updating heat and drought plans and educating on the heat illness, as well as expanding the urban forest and drought tolerant landscaping through an urban forest management plan, and exploring and educating the use of new cooling infrastructure and technology. And I will say that a lot of these policies and actions in the safety element are through partnerships as well. So that was a big part of the safety element update, was citing what different agencies, what different partners the city will join with to implement all of these. And then under hazards, air quality, and emergency response, some of the updated policies there include partnering regionally to retrofit indoor air quality for low-income residents, encouraging resident enrollment in medical programs for personal protective equipment, and strengthening emergency communications and promoting household emergency kits. Then under seismic and flooding, enforcing the California Building Code through updates through the city's ordinance, looking to retrofit older infrastructure and upgrade roads to increase earthquake landslide resilience, limiting development in flood hazard areas where the hazard can't be mitigated, and looking for, if those areas, dedication to open space potentially, and again, doing education. And lastly, for fire hazards, there are a lot of new policies here, as you can imagine, with the risk and going through CAL FIRE and what they want to see in the safety elements. So a lot of policies there to address applying wildfire-resistant construction, ensuring adequate water supply, making sure that the municipal code is aligned with the county's code and the state's map, developing a Camarillo Community Wildfire Protection Plan and partner with Ventura Regional Fire Safe Council, expanding the defensible space, which the county already has an ordinance that goes above and beyond the state's, and then pursuing grants to implement these policies, such as to increase education around evacuation, keeping the emergency operations plan current, and coordinating with the fire protection district to make sure they have adequate staffing as well. So that is the overview of the safety element. There is a lot in there, but wanted to keep the presentation quick so that we have time for any questions. Thank you so much.
Any questions of council at this particular time? No question? All right, so this is an advertised public hearing, so I'm going to open the public hearing. Madam Clerk, do we have any comments on this?
I don't show any comments on this public hearing.
Okay, so with that, I'm going to close the public hearing, and I'll open it up for a council discussion. Anybody have any questions? I'll just make one quick. It's a very thorough report and very necessary, and I commend you for your thoroughness on this. And as we all know, that we live in some challenging times with all this, so planning means a lot. So good job.
Mayor, if I just may only comment.
Okay, good.
I know that Planning Commission looked into this into great detail. And thank you. I wanted to especially thank my Planning Commissioner, Gladys Limon, because she brought in a lot of questions that were attended to and that I feel now I feel comfortable about them being addressed here in the document. And thank you also to staff for working so hard on this. So I do agree this is important to have, and I'm very confident in the path moving forward with this.
Thank you. Anyone else? Motions in order? Or?
I'm happy to move staff's recommendations 1 and 2.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Madam Clerk?
Okay, I'm happy to take a roll call vote. Okay, so Councilmember Martinez Bravo,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Tennyson,
Yes.
Mayor Kildee,
Yes.
and Councilmember Santangelo.
Yes.
And that passes 4-0 with 1 absence.
Thank you. Thank you for the report.
Thank you so much.
Okay, that gets us down to closed session report from the city attorney. Anything to report out of closed session?
No, we had both items on closed session, but there was no reportable action to be made.
Okay. All right, so with that, we are going to adjourn tonight in the memory of Elvia Maria Finkel and Andrew Finkel. So with that, we stand adjourned.